would come to roll20 and create a character. We'll go from start to finish. I'll do 2 characters, one using the Charactermancer and one using the simple edit feature where you could simply edit the figures that you would have from your paper character sheet if you've already prepared a paper character sheet. So first of all, once you get the group chat from me or one of the other DMs inviting you to the game, you should end up in a screen that looks very much like this one. It will say roll20 at the top, which is just slightly cut off so you can't see my top bar. And it will have the name of the game. Now, for my season, this season, it's the midweek modules, but whatever season it is, it should be there. And there's also a list of players on the right. Now, if you have never entered Roll20 before, the link will instead take you to the sign-in, where you'll either need to register or sign in. Then the easiest way to get back to the game is once you've signed in, leave your Roll20 open, go back to the link, click it again, and you'll come straight here to this player. Now, first things first, you want to go to the launch game icon. Okay, you want to launch the game and that will get you into the game. If you don't pay for a Roll20 subscription, there may be an advert that comes up, which you'll have to wait, I think, 10 or 20 seconds for the advert to disappear. Ignore the maps on this one. That's just, you know, flavor. Now, I've actually cut off the screen a little too much so you can't see the bar, but we will soon resolve that because you need to see that bar there. So I will just bring that up a little and then we will fade into that transition. And now, turns out I didn't get rid of all the other stuff earlier. I just did it in the thing rather than the whole thing. So sorry about the loud advert, viewers, those of you that have seen it. So now, once you're in this screen after you've entered launch game, you will see, if it's your first time, it'll be rather confusing. There's all this screen writing telling you to do things and all of this and all of these bars over here and also up above here there's something maybe here that does other things as well, and basically you need to ignore all of it. The only thing you need to be concerned about is creating your own character. Okay, and you can do that by going to the little newspaper icon here that when you highlight it will say journal. Also, if you come in and maybe there's music playing, go to the settings option first, and just below your name you'll find the master music volume level. You can adjust it there rather than adjusting anything else. Anyway, back to the journal. Go to the journal and you want to find one of the blank ones. There'll be blank sheets for you. Okay, so you select a blank sheet, go to the character sheet, and it will say how do you want to create this character. Edit the sheet directly would be the way to enter the data if you already have a character sheet that you want to fill out. Using the Charactermancer could be a quick way to build something if you want something, especially from the SRD. So today let's just build a simple level 1 Dwarf Barbarian. Okay, you can't currently use the Charactermancer to create anything higher than a level 1 character, so that works out nicely. Here's a little welcome message. We're not interested in that. We just want to go straight to race. We're going to go for a dwarf because we like dwarves. Dwarf gets these things. Age we can put in as like 45. Alignment, let's say they're chaotic good, and they get all these other things as well. Subrace, Hill Dwarf is in the SRD. If you want to do a Mountain Dwarf, you'll have to copy and paste the writing in yourself afterwards to add in the Hill Dwarf, the Mountain Dwarf things. But if you go for a Hill Dwarf, it'll already be there. So you already get the Wisdom score increase, you already get the Dwarven Toughness, it's already there. These will be featured. I'll show you how to edit these when we go into the other character sheet method, and I show you how to edit feats there. For now, I'll just use the SRD. Let's say we're going to choose a class. We're going to go for a Barbarian. Now, using this, you can choose 2 skill proficiencies as a Barbarian. We're simply going to go for Athletics and Intimidation, a very typical Barbarian. This will also sort out all your equipment, unarmed defense, rage, all that good stuff. It will sort it out for you. And you navigate this by using the next. If you decide you want to change something, press the back button. But going onwards, next, ability score method. You always want to go custom. We're going to go to this here. Now, if you ever find that having this, the comments bar where you roll dice is annoying in that position, you double click it, you can pop it out and move it around, which is something that I do very often. So there's a little tip for you. You can pop it out and move it around. Now, if you type open square bracket, 4d6, that will roll you 4d6. d1, that will roll you 4d6 and drop the lowest. Close brackets, close brackets. If you do it once, it'll do it once. If you do it If you do it 6 times, it will do your stats in one go for you. So you can just have them out. So you literally just highlight it all, Control C, paste 6 times, and there's some stats. Bloody good roll for this character. You've got a 13, 14, 12, 17, 17. So a very charismatic, but not a very strong barbarian. Next, background. Background, again, Acolyte is the only one in the SRD. If you want to go for a different background, you'll have to go custom and fill it in yourself. You have to fill in something in the Character Mancer. So if you do decide to go custom, you'll have to fill in something yourself. We're just going to go Acolyte because it's easier. So we get some language proficiencies. And you know what? They're going to learn Deep Speech and Gnomish because they hang around with Deep Gnomes a lot. Why not? You can also go for some personality traits. Honestly, I don't really pay much stock to these. If you need them to remind you of your character, then hey, you can take them. But meh, I don't really care about them, and choosing them won't hinder you in any way. Next is equipment. As a I don't know why this is so squished. Usually it doesn't look like that, but never mind. If you, as a barbarian, you get to choose any martial weapon, and what barbarian would be complete without a great axe, and you get to pick any simple weapons or 2 hand axes, and I think we'll stick with the hand axes. I think if we leave it as choose, we'll get 2 hand axes. Also, we'll get a prayer book or a prayer wheel. Well, I'm going to go for a prayer book. You know. Next, spells. As a barbarian, spells are a mystery to you. So we don't need to worry about that. And then feats as well, you don't have any yet. So then it'll ask you to review your character, you can look through your choices, and you apply changes. Now the Character Mancer builds your character for you. You don't need to do anything. This should look a lot like a character sheet you may have prepared. Very similar. You can see all your abilities down on the right here, and all those other things. Now, let's delete that character. We can make another blank one in a moment. What if instead we decide that we want to use a character sheet that we've already prepared? That's one that someone's already played with. Let's go for this one then. There we go. So now, how do we want to do this? We want to edit this sheet directly. Okay, so now this time when you roll your stats, you simply click on here and put them in here. Okay, so it's very similar. You can just put them in that bottom bit there, and it will work out your things for you. So I think he had like 17. It will work out all your stuff for you. Next, this is how you add. So you can add your hit points by putting your hit points in here. You can choose your class and everything else, and that will work out your saving throws for you. To if you go for rogue and you want to do expertise, let's say we've gone rogue. We've decided to go for stealth and sleight of hand, but do you know what? As rogues, we get expertise. This is, you click on this little cog here, just above that cog there, which takes you to this red sheet here. And where it says about these things here, all normal, you can change that to expertise, and it will double everything for you. Anyway, let's go back to the core sheet. If you want to add things from a copy and paste thing, you simply click add. You put your feat name in here, which would be, I don't know, Dwarven Resilience. And then if you are using another, if you're using something like D&D Beyond or another source that has it all written out for you, you can just copy and paste it in there. Otherwise, you can just type it out. Same with all the other things on here. The last thing of note really is the compendium here. Okay, the compendium is a very, very useful thing. Let's say my character needs a short sword. I simply type in short, I find the short sword, I give him that. Also, they have a short bow. Brilliant. They now have a short bow as well. Maybe they need a spell, perhaps Shocking Grasp. They now have Shocking Grasp. I also want to give them some leather armor. I'm probably spelling leather the English way. Armor the English way, sorry. So leather armor, chuck that in as well. It works out your armor class for you. Does everything for you, the compendium. If it's in the SRD, it'll be in there. If you want something that's not in the SRD, you'll have to type it out. And you can do that again by clicking on the plus, putting in your weapon name like the dish destructor, and let's say that's a strength weapon. It's 10d12 necrotic. Massive two-handed weapon. Wielder dies if target dies. There you are. There's an epic weapon for you. Just built off that. And now once these are in here, you can very simply roll them by just clicking on them. So there's the short sword roll. You can see it's a 5. That's probably not going to be a hit. Oh dear. Let's go. Let's roll the destructor. The destructor hits. To roll damage on either of these, you simply click on the name of the weapon. So the destructor has hit. It does a whopping. Huh.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Thanks for the raid. We're currently not looking at chat as we're making a quick YouTube video, but we'll be right with you guys. Short sword. Okay. Roll20's busted itself. We're quickly going to reload Roll20. Since we had a raid, that's everything that works perfectly. I'm blaming Toolschool. Toolschool, you broke Roll20. How dare. Let's go back to that blank character sheet. I believe it was the first one. It has the destructor right there. We'll pop that out again and put it there. So now when we roll the destructor, it does a critical hit. Why don't you work? For some reason my damage rolls aren't working, but that is how you roll them. 9 times out of 10, normally when you hit damage roll, that will work there. It's probably not working because I haven't put something in somewhere. Maybe proficiencies? Doubtful. I don't know why that's not working, but that's how you do it. You click on the weapon there and it will work in practice. I hate YouTube videos that show you things that don't work in the video, but I promise you that's how it works. Honest to God. I think that's everything there is to know about character sheets. If you want to change your name, I'll have given you edit access so you can edit, and you literally just go in and change your name there, and or you can also change your name there, I believe, and that should update things. Let's make it Frank the Destructor. When I press enter, that should update everything. So now he's called Frank. Okay, so the first thing you do, actually that's probably the first thing you should do when you come in, change the name first in case there's 2 of you editing the sheet, in which case you will have saved the sheet for yourself. Okay, I think that is everything I can show you about YouTube videos. RE creating a character. It's quick, it's dirty. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments, and I will get back to you. Especially, and also, if I send this to you as a person who is new to the game and playing in one of my groups, just hit me up in the group chat and I will answer your questions, and I'll also leave a comment answering it as well for those in future. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. I will see you shortly.